Robert, you're very welcome to the podcast today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
You're very welcome. So you're got a big following on TikTok, Robert. So if you would just tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
So we're now a video marketing company, and we're offering services for brands and people, for influencers who want to build up their following on TikTok. We were doing actually for all the platforms that offer huge organic reach, but right now the TikTok being the hottest trend, we're offering all of our services to TikTok. So we're not taking in anything else, video production and all this stuff. We're just doing for brands and people, offering them services to grow on TikTok. So this is what we do.
Very cool. Is there any particular trends at the moment on TikTok that you find are working quite well in terms of reach?
Well, it depends on your niche, because people, when they're first going on TikTok, they're focused just on going viral and just make millions of views. And I think that's good, but it depends on the quality of the people that are seeing your videos. So most people are hopping in on trends without them actually understanding that there needs to be a connection between their niche and what the trend is about. So you can hop on all trends, and some people even use the hashtags wrong just to get some views, but then the audience will disclaim your video because you have no relevance to that content. So right now there are a couple of trends that we're going to be hopping on. For example, it's the Space Force Walk, which is basically a new TV show that's being run on Netflix. And because I'm sure that there's a deal between the TikTok and the show, they're going to be showing a lot of that on the news feed. So that's one thing that we're doing. For us, it's pretty much easy because we're doing video stuff, and because we're doing a lot of VFX, a lot of special effects and all that stuff, we can hop on many trends. But as we found out lately, we're now doing more educational stuff because TikTok is now trying to monetize as much as possible. So they're trying to push more of the educational content on the platform. So before, we used to do 80% of our content used to be about fun and entertainment. Now it's only about 20% and 80% is education. So we're now showing them tutorials on how to do different things. So I just hopped on another question, but to answer your question, good trend right now is the Space Force Walk. Another one is art skills, where people basically show their skills, if it's painting or dancing or whatever. And another big thing, which I've been hopping on for quite a while, but I see that just now it's becoming a trend, it's the reply to comments, which basically is a new feature brought on by TikTok, and it's totally new to any platform. Basically, you get a comment, and you can respond to that comment with a video. That person is being tagged in the video, and his or her comment appears on the video on wherever you want it to appear. So it's a very cool way to interact with your audience. So that's a big trend for TikTok right now.
Very cool.
Yes.
So I suppose in terms of, I think most brands now are probably, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, but there's a huge amount of them that haven't gone over to TikTok yet. If you had any advice for brand, I suppose one, what reasons would you give brands for going on TikTok? And two, if they were to go on it, then what advice would you give them?
Well, I think, in my opinion, all the brands should be on TikTok, but for different reasons. So if you're a brand that's actually targeting that audience, which now is anywhere from 5 to 25, I think that's the most engaged audience on TikTok, then you should be there, because why go 100% on Facebook and Instagram, where you get a very low reach and very low engagement? People are not commenting anymore. And there's a huge stigma right now on Facebook and Instagram, which each of them have their own purpose. I'm not saying don't post at all on those platforms, but I'm saying you can reach a lot more people on TikTok because of the organic reach. And if you focus more on the transparency and on the creative part of whatever it is that you're doing, you're actually going to get much better results than on Facebook and Instagram, where maybe quality matters more. But here, you can film with a phone and reach 1 million people with your first video. So that's insane. You having 0 followers and reaching 1 million views with your video filmed with your phone. So that's insane. So that's for the brands that have the core target, that audience, 5 to 25, let's say 30 maybe. Now, for the people that have an audience that are not in that demographic, you can actually use TikTok, maybe just one person from your advertising team or whatever, to familiarize yourself with the TikTok algorithm, because that way you will find out ways to improve your ads by knowing how to attract the people that are watching from the first 3-5 seconds, which is very important. Because here, you're fighting with up 1 million other users for the first second. People are swiping like crazy right now. Now that it has over 800 million users, TikTok, I mean. So because of that, you actually learn how to attract in the first second, because you get the feedback by the number of views that you're getting. So maybe you won't be able to use TikTok right now for promoting your brand, but people that are in your advertising staff can learn how to do this better by finding out how to stop people from scrolling and actually engaging with their videos.
That's a really nice idea, actually, to use TikTok as a way of measuring that initial kind of video interaction, and then, okay, we know this works, so let's maybe try this on some other platforms then as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you can basically have the same video with the first 4 variations of that video ad that you want to be posting, and you can post them all at the same time, because you're there on TikTok just to test. So you can actually see which one performed best, and most probably that's going to cost you a lot less in the end when you're doing that, right? Because you're getting more engagement, so it's more valuable to the Facebook algorithm when you're doing that. So you're getting more views with less paying for the ads.
Yeah, that's really interesting actually as well. And the other thing to take into consideration there, I think, as well, is that even if that age demographic isn't your audience right now, will they be soon?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because TikTok right now is being grounded. Yeah, so it's being established as the next big platform. There's no going away anymore. I mean, there's no way. Maybe 6 months ago, maybe people were guessing that TikTok's gonna go down or whatever. Right now, it's not possible anymore. So it's just the same cycle going over and over again with Facebook, then with Instagram, and then with TikTok right now. And people that are not flexible enough to join the platform are the people that did the same thing with Facebook and Instagram. They just waited for the crowd to be there and then cried because they couldn't get any more reach because they weren't on time. So
yeah,
it's just a matter of time, right? So
learn from the history of the social network so far. Yeah,
exactly. So when I go to conferences, I always say that TikTok for me was exactly what I needed when I needed, because I was so frustrated that I didn't go on Instagram on time. And I promised myself when the next big platform comes, I'm going to be there and I'm not going to miss that opportunity. Yeah. So when Gary Vaynerchuk said, so TikTok is the next big thing, the next day I talked with the team, we need to go on TikTok like right now. So we started posting 1 video each day. So for a creator that's doing all the videos with their phone, it's easy to post 2-3 videos a day. But for us, posting 1 video a day was quite enough, because it took a lot of our time to be creative and have that VFX and all that stuff. So it was a crazy proposal, but somehow we made it and found time to do client work and post on TikTok. So right now we're not doing every day, but in the beginning was so important for us to post every day.
Very cool.
And did you see that interaction right away as well? Did you see your profile grow pretty rapidly or pretty kind of steadily using that 1 a day video? Kind of just, did you see the growth pretty much straight away?
With the first 5 to 10 posts, it was pretty steady. But it was still way much than Instagram. So I had 0 followers. We did our first video. It was a trend. It was called clock whoa or something like that. It was a dance like this, a stupid thing, doesn't matter. And for me, but we hopped on that trend because we wanted to do the same moves and have some the flames or whatever. So we adapted all of our techniques to the group age that was active then, because then there wasn't any very few people over 18. So we knew that lightning and fire and all that stuff will be impressive for that audience. So we just did that challenge because it was hot at that moment, and it got like 1,000 views or 1,500 views, and it was our first video with 0 followers, and in a couple of hours, which was still insane because we didn't get that engagement on Instagram.
Yeah.
So coming on from there, I think it was, so up until now it's like steady. Then 1 or 2 videos will blow up, and then we gain like 100% more followers, and then steady. So it wasn't straight like this, but our growth was crazy compared to other users because 99% of the users were just filming with their phones, and they were actually asking us how do we do that, and what we did for TikTok was pretty basic stuff in the beginning. So we were like, okay, so we have a real chance here because real creators and real editors and all that stuff aren't currently on TikTok. So now is our chance before everybody migrates here. So we need to build a community before everybody's on TikTok. So that's what we did.
Deadly. I think you made a really good point there as well. You jumped on the trend, but then you adapted it for your own business. So obviously you're in video editing. Let's put our video editing skills into this trend. So I think that's really important for brands. Is yes, jumping on trends, but it needs to speak to your audience, to speak to your brand, not just be jumping on it for the sake of jumping on it.
Definitely, and don't get me wrong. Yeah, it was a couple of times where I knew if I just posted that thing that they were doing, I knew that I was gonna get a lot of views, but in the end, those views weren't gonna help me with anything. So that itch was real, but we managed to know if it doesn't make sense, and if we can adapt it to whatever it is that we're doing, we're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I didn't scratch that itch.
And do you have any experience with the advertising platform, Robert?
We haven't done any ads up until now, so everything is organic. We are starting to think and to talk to people who are already advertising on TikTok, because now what we're going to be doing is we're going to build pages on different topics. So now that it's not that easy to grow right now, so we are going to be using ads to promote those pages. So we will be using them soon. I know that there are some brands in Romania who are already advertising on TikTok because I saw their ads, and people are getting really good returns on their ads compared to whatever it is that they were doing on Instagram. So I haven't seen their case study or anything. It's just what I've heard from them. So they got really good results from those campaigns.
Yeah, I mean, for certain products and services, it's going to be a complete no-brainer, I would think, especially at the start when probably the cost per impressions and the cost per clicks are going to be really low when the competition is low.
Exactly. And I've heard, actually, this is a really nice story. I've heard that there's a brand who has been doing, actually, it wasn't the brand that's been doing it. People discovered it. So the brand is called Martinelli, and it's apple juice something, I don't know. And there's a person that started a huge trend, and there's a marketer in USA. I don't remember his name right now. And he did the math. So basically, people went crazy, and everybody bought the juice because it wasn't started by the marketing team of that brand. So people basically found out that if you bite the bottle, it sounds exactly like you're biting from an apple. So everybody literally went crazy and bought that apple juice, and it got like, when I last checked, because I did an article for Forbes here in Romania, and when I did the check, it was something like 500 million video views. And a marketer did the math, and it was something like, I don't want to say stupid number, it was something like $80,000 or $100,000 worth of ads if they did ads to get that much reach. So it was absolutely insane.
That actually sounds kind of cheap. I thought it'd be a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. I just don't want to say a stupid number. I don't remember exactly what I wrote in that article because I had to do the research and write down. So I really don't remember. But for 50 million, I don't know. I don't remember right now.
But you see, even like music artists and stuff, you know, people are writing songs for TikTok. You know, companies are actively doing things that will potentially be picked up because it's worthwhile. I mean, like, why advertise if everyone else will do it for you?
Exactly. And I'm quoting Gary again. He actually said that it's better for artists to promote on TikTok than to pay money on Spotify.
Probably. I mean, I've even noticed it myself. I've ended up creating playlists on Spotify from what I've been listening to on TikTok. It's amazing how it works. So, I mean, yeah, for music, it's absolutely insane. A great platform for musicians and artists to get their content out there 100%.
Yes, Drake released the last song, Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Slide, I don't remember the name. And I can bet all the money in the world that he made that song for TikTok, for it to go viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I can bet good money it was the same with the old video that he did. It was another trend that went viral on TikTok. Wait, cosa não pensa do seu tempo? So it was basically a song where people used to drive, and the person singing next to the driving car, next to the moving car or something. I don't remember the name. You for sure you know it. So it was another huge trend on TikTok at that time. So Drake really knows how to do marketing on platforms like this. And it was the same with Lil Nas X with the Old Town Road. He actually made the song famous before it even got released. So when he released it went insane.
Yeah.
Kiki, Kiki, do you love me? Yeah, that
one. So Robert, I suppose, look, if you had a small business, you were out there, like, okay, I get it, I need to go on TikTok. If you had a couple of tips for a small business, maybe it's just one person on their own, how would you have them get started in TikTok? What kind of advice would you give them?
So first of all, I would not focus on the quality that much, even though quality is important now. We're talking about a small business, so it's important for them to get many views. So don't focus on quality, focus on quantity. So then later you can improve quality and decrease quantity. That's the first tip. The second tip, you need to spend some good time on the platforms to understand how people deliver their messages and how relevant creators on TikTok deliver their messages, because we're learning each day how to improve the way so just what you're saying in your videos is very important, and it's very important to compact the message that you're delivering as much as possible. So spend time on the platform understanding how to communicate on that platform. You can't talk like you're talking on Instagram. You can't talk the way you're talking on Facebook. That's the second thing. The third thing, always be relevant to what's happening in the moment. So that's why we're always checking the For You page. We're always checking what hashtags are trending, what's happening in the world, with checking with Google Trends each day, each week, to see what it is that is the hot thing of the moment. And the last advice, always make it relevant to your niche, because you want to attract people, but you want to attract people that are potential customers. Otherwise, you're just big on TikTok with no reason to be big on TikTok. So I think those are the advices.
Brilliant. Love it. Robert, thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I really loved talking to you.